This is the Book Legion Podcast, where we review thought-provoking books to give our Legionnaires the knowledge they need to dominate the next level of their life.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Legion. This is your co-host, Kevin Diaz, back. I got a very excited book that I want to share with you today by a guy that's a certified badass, in my opinion. He is the one and only William McRaven. He's actually a retired four-star admiral in the United States Navy, where he commanded special operations forces at really every level that you could possibly imagine. He's experienced combat in Desert Storm, the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. This is a guy that experienced a parachuting accident that ultimately tore his pelvis in half, essentially. It's a freak accident. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And he was able to come back from that and continue to serve our country. So on top of being one of the most recognized figures in U.S. foreign policy, he's advised, President Bush, President Obama, and other United States leaders on defense issues. He's currently a professor of national security at the University of Texas after serving chancellor of the entire school system of the UT school system for 3 years. So pretty stout resume. As if the military service wasn't, awesome enough, he's got some foreign policy in there and 3 bestsellers. One of them being the book that we're going to be covering today, the 3 RC stories, the Hero Code, and the book today, Make Your Bed. And if you guys hear some cars revving up pretty loud, I don't know what's going on, but I came into my office to record today, and right outside my office apparently is a outdoor car show. So if you hear some McLaren, some Lamborghinis revving, just try to ignore it. So going back to this book, I read this book actually on just over a 1 hour plane ride recently. So it's not a super long read, but it's really one of those books that you can keep close to yourself, keep close to your bedside table, that you can reference to when you need some refreshing on self-discipline, responsibility, just because there's a lot of life lessons through the stories told from William McRaven up through his Navy SEAL training and combat experience that you can apply to your life. Thankfully, we don't have to go through the pain and the physical and mental suffering that he went through to apply those lessons, but they make it very interesting to read, right? So 3 points right off the top, first chapter, right, going off the book, Make Your Bed. In the first chapter, McRaven really advises us to start our day with a task. And it can be as simple as a task as making your bed. But the whole point is to start off with a win. Starting your day off with a win is crucial to really get momentum. And, who doesn't like to win when you start your day? I have one where I try to essentially beat the sun. There's few things more powerful than beating the sun to something. And that is just to get up before the sun comes up, right? You start off your day with a win. So starting your day off making your bed, he says that if you really want to change your life, maybe even the world, start out with making your bed in the morning. And he got this perspective from his time training to be a Navy SEAL, where the first thing the instructors would do in the morning was look at their bed to see if it was made with absolute perfection, essentially. Otherwise, there's going to be repercussions, right? You understand how the military is. And based on my understanding, Navy SEAL training is just absolutely insane. So when we're able to do these little things right, big things are going to ultimately get done, right? They're just going to snowball. So making your bed every morning when you wake up, I know it's not the most exciting thing to do. I get that. I think that's done on purpose because you're developing that habit of discipline, that habit of attention to detail that helps get your day moving. And like I said, it will start snowballing into daily habits where you start getting your brain programmed to do them. And by the end of it, you just get up, do it. You don't even think about it, and you move on to your day, and you're able to start off your day on a positive foot, right? So forth and so forth. So that second point that I got away from this book is to stop complaining. Stop complaining, keep moving forward. And McRaven is using stories of his uniform inspections to illustrate the comparison that sometimes life isn't fair, even when we do things the right way. It's very easy to feel that our bad luck is just simply due to the universe not loving us, right? The world doesn't love me, right? Or it's just simply what I call, air quote for those listening, bad luck, right? I don't believe in that. The uniform inspection essentially had to be immaculate, from the cap being starched perfectly to the belt buckle being so polished that you could see your own reflection on it. You can imagine the attention to the fine details that must be given to achieve this. And even then, the instructors always would find fault in something, no matter what you would do, no matter how much attention you'd give to those details. There would always be something that the instructor would find to make you run for a couple miles, essentially, right? And it's a great just analogy of life, that sometimes just, even when we do all the things the right way and we feel like we should get what we want, sometimes you just don't get it, and that's okay. You just got to keep moving forward, stay on your path, right? And the punishment for this, something that makes me very uncomfortable, is that you would have to run to the beach nearby. They're down in Southern California on the West Coast for this type of training, and you jump into the water, which is freezing, in full uniform. Once you're drenched in water entirely from head to toe, and you roll around in the sand to where your body's caked up in all of this cold, wet sand, and they'd call you a sugar cookie. And I'm talking about sand everywhere. And, and then you'd have to go the rest of the day with this wet, itchy sand, literally in every crevice of your body. No matter who it was, no matter how well you're training or how well you did in training, right? Or your exercises, you would have your day as a sugar cookie. That was pretty much guaranteed. And again, the purpose of this was just to show that no matter the effort that you put in, you have to accept the fact that life is just not going to go your way sometimes. But it shouldn't keep you from moving forward or keep you from achieving those tasks and those goals that you've set out for yourself. And lastly, the third point that took away is going off of this is that you shouldn't be afraid to fail. During training, McRaven and other trainees, they'd had to show obviously their physical abilities in a variety of difficult tasks that you, myself, and 99% of other humans on this planet would much rather not do at all. And if you fail, and trust me, everyone is going to fail some of these exercises at some point, even at that Navy SEAL level, you would get added to a list called the circus, right? And he talks about a story of him and his buddy. You get like a buddy assigned to you when you're doing these swims, and these are not 30-minute swims, which sounds already terrible, but it's 5-mile swims, and they do these all the time, 5 miles in freezing water with your buddy. And they've essentially failed one of these exercises. They came in last of their group, and they got added to the list that's called the circus. And what all of this entails is that after you're done and everybody gets to go home and get ready for the next day, you have 2 more hours of exercises, and hard exercises that were meant to break you. And ultimately, 2 things would happen. Is that what happened to most people is that they kept kind of snowballing the failure. So I do my exercises, I fail, then I got to do 2 more hours, which then that's 2 less hours of rest, 2 less hours of sleep. And I just wake up the next day, I fail again, get added to the list again. It's just snowballs. And 2 things either happen. Either you quit, right? You ring the bell 3 times. I think a lot of people have seen the videos of Navy SEAL training. You ring the bell 3 times to say that you're done. Or you would dig deep and find a way to get better and use these failures as a way of strengthening yourself. Excuse me. And that's exactly what happened with McRaven and his buddy, to the point that they had to do the exercise again, and they finished the exercise, and the officers are yelling at them, saying how embarrassed they are of them, like you are embarrassing, and they think that they actually failed. Right. And they're down on their luck. And then when they kind of, get back in the right frame of mind, they look around and they realize that the instructors are messing around with them. They've embarrassed everybody else but themselves because they finished first. And they turn around and look into the ocean and they can't even see the next pair. That's how they dominated that exercise. So it's a great parallel to life. I really enjoyed that point, that the circus is going to happen to everybody. Life is a circus, right? And it's what you do with those failures. Is it going to strengthen you? Is it going to, are you going to let it beat you up to the point where you quit? It's just, I thought it was a great takeaway, but I highly recommend this book. Make Your Bed by William McRaven, a great man. You know, we thank him for his service. Just a real certified badass. The stories that are in there. Check it out. We'll put a link in the description to Amazon for you to order the book. And, you know, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Book Legion. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to this review. And until next time, this is Kevin Diaz signing off. I'll talk to you soon.